The following podcast contains some strong language and some very average opinions. It's probably best if you don't listen at all.
The Roaring Peacock Podcast.
Welcome back to the Roaring Peacock big match preview between Leeds and the Portuguese national team. My name's Adonis. You know me as the Adelites on Twitter. Joining us today to discuss the game is Alex. You know him as at Riot Badger.
Hello, guys.
Or is it at Hedgehog?
Yeah, whatever. Just search Google something, and if it looks like my face, follow it, and then unfollow it when you see my political opinions.
And our guest today is Ryan from the Wolves Fancast. Hello, mate. How's it going?
Good. Yeah. Looking forward to this one. Yeah. And as you say, kind of, that's probably the label we've been had this season, sort of Portugal for. I think there's t-shirts of out now, Grand Theft Porto, because of the the raid we've done on Porto. But yeah, if the cap fits, we're quite happy with it. So yeah, we're doing good.
Or Jorge Mendes FC.
Yeah, it's Uncle George to us at this moment in time. We're okay with it, and I think I think there's probably some envious eyes, but we get it. You know, we signed Matinho for 5 million. It's like, how did that happen? But then we sign a kid who's played one game for 35 million. So yeah, we're all part of the Mendes merry-go-round, but at the moment, I'm watching the best football that I've seen, so I'll take it.
So the last time we met, we unfortunately had a cunt from Barnsley in the in our dugout called Paul Heckingbottom, which didn't go particularly well. And that game you did the double over. That season you did the double over us. You scored 7 goals. We scored 1. And 2 of them were from Barry Douglas, who's pissed off to Blackburn now, and Helder Costa, who's doing quite well for us now. So a lot's changed since then. You've been promoted and you've finished top 7, I think, last 2 seasons.
Two players with a little bit in common there. Douglas, as you say, who kind of can't get a Premier League break, and I'm interested in terms of how Costa's doing, because from what I saw, he had a bit of a slow start, but I'm guessing he's doing all right since sort of restart and the latter part of last season.
Yeah, a lot of people have said about Costa. He's, in his first season, he didn't really impress with us, and I think a lot of people were saying 15 million for this. What will we bought and stuff like that. And when we've come up and he's got more space and a bit more time on the ball, he's really excelled. He's doing really well this season. He's really exciting to watch. But now we've replaced him with a Brazilian winger. So how does that work? He's going to get converted to a number 10 probably. So
in the Championship, we didn't have a lot of space.
No.
A lot of teams had clued onto us and put 11 men behind the ball. And that's, I think, it's very difficult unless you're someone like Pablo Hernandez, who can, or David Silva or whatever, who can unpick the lock. But for Costa, he does work better in those big spaces, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting, isn't it? I think, as you say, there's probably players who, technically are very good, but in the Championship, for whatever reason, it might not go for them, and they actually need to go up a level to, like you say, to show what they're about. But with Costa, I think that he was kind of a little bit patchy, but at times, as you've seen, he's fantastic. So he was great for us. But yeah, we replaced him with Neto, and he's doing all right for us. But I do rate Costa. I think he's on his days a really handful. So hopefully not on Monday. But
well, no, I disagree with you. I hope he scores a hat-trick.
Well, you might. Well, let's have another 4-3 because you've had a couple of those. Then, okay, yeah,
I'll
you
take
can have a
that.
hat trick.
I'll take the big W. I'll
It's
take a big W over the 2 little W's.
Yeah, it's been interesting to watch Wolves because I think we talked about taking the template that you guys did in the Championship and going up, and I don't think we've done it exactly the same way, but I think we are trying to ape that quite a lot, and it's refreshing to see you guys have gone up and you've had a top 10 finish, which that would be amazing for us. So I think what you're doing with Portugal, I think we're trying to do with Spain. We've got 2 so far. We need to get 3, so we've got like Mayfair, and then we can put us hotels on. This metaphor's gone too far, but yeah, it's good to see. I think this is the game that I'm most worried about out of the ones that we've played. Even though we've played City and we've played Liverpool, but they're kind of free hits for us. I think this shows us our mettle, and it shows where we're going to be at the end of the season, how we compete against Wolves. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think for me, genuinely, and I'm not just saying this, it is good to see Leeds, in the top flight. You referenced a couple of games, and I've seen some fantastic games over the years against Leeds. Back to my first one, which was the quarter final at Elland Road, and it's great. It's just bloody shame that people aren't going to watch it because it's always a good fixture. Good, great sets of fans. So yeah, we're probably a little bit different in terms of I guess from what I can see, you're far more versed on Leeds than I am, but from what I can see, a lot more attacking than we were last year because we were a counter-attack side. So we were very happy for teams to have the ball for long periods and then hit them on the break with Neto and Uradama, and Jimenez. So yeah, probably a little bit different. But we talked on our podcast on the Fancast that it's an interesting one tactically because we're going through a little bit of a change at the moment where we're changing the way in which we play. So it may or may not be a good time for you to play us. But yeah, we're as fearful genuinely because I think you've got a really good side. But then I think, oh God, you've conceded 3 against Fulham, so there may be something in there for us as well. So yeah, and it's been a mad start as you know. So yeah, it should be a really good game. I'm really looking forward to it. But it's one of those fixtures I genuinely would love to have gone because we've played the likes of Bournemouth and so forth in the last few years, and then playing Leeds, it's just got a different feel to it as a fan. So.
Yeah, definitely. I think that that Fulham game, I struggle to explain that collapse, and I don't think anybody's given me a decent explanation why. It's like we got to 4-1 and then took the foot off the gas. So hopefully lessons have been learned. I really don't want to go through that again. That 4-3 wasn't as enjoyable as the 4-3 against Liverpool, and we lost that one. So
yeah, when we were up 4-1, I really thought the game was dead and buried.
Yeah, I did.
But it's interesting you talk about fans being there because I don't really remember us having any kind of beef with Wolves. Have we? Have we ever?
No,
Don't think so.
I don't. I don't think in terms of a beef because there's no genuine rivalry there. Geographically, there isn't. But I just for me, it's just in terms of when I think of clubs over the years and sort of going back, to the historical clubs, and then yeah, to me, it has a good feel to it. I say there's no beef, but I do remember going out of Elland Road after we won in the quarter final and dodging a few bottles from the local pub as a teenager. And I remember going back on the coach, slightly delayed because one of the coaches had been, was quite drafty, shall we say, at the back. There was, lots going on from both sides. But no, it's more to do with the fact that as a fixture, I think Wolves and Leeds is great. But yeah, no historical rivalry that I'm certainly aware of. But I think it's just 2 big clubs. And I think it would have been quite exciting to see in the flesh.
That's just an average game, isn't it?
I mean, as the song goes, we're the best behaved supporters in the land when we win, and we're a right bunch of bastards when we lose.
But that's football. That's football. Yeah,
it is.
So you better hope that we win tomorrow then.
Yeah, because your coaches, wait a minute, they'll be fine because they're not even.
I think well protected. Yeah. Do you know what I think it was that year where Leeds were just on fire, and I think we were serious underdogs because we were in the Championship at the time, and for us to have won in the quarterfinals, I think you probably expected to have gone all the way that year. So it was one of those. But then we lost in the semi-finals to Arsenal. But anyway, you're not interested in that. But yeah,
We've never been a cup team, Leeds. It's we can't do playoffs, we can't do cups. Apart from when we won against Arsenal in the FA Cup, I don't think we've done anything since. So yeah,
We lost to Villa in '96, and that was painful.
yeah. You mention it every cast. It's great.
It's therapy for me. It's cathartic. I'll be done with it in about 2 years' time.
Yeah, just
So
so we
if
lose
you
to them
don't
again in a final.
It'll be abolished by then, won't it?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, League Cup won't exist. Big picture.
I'd have thought, why don't we have the because they talked about getting rid of the Community Shield. Why don't we have that as the very last game? That would make more sense to me in the European Super Cup as well. The very last games of the season instead of the very first games, because it does feel like just sort of a shitty friendly. Whereas if it was the last game, like the ultimate finale, I feel like it would mean a lot more.
Yeah, but would it have anything? It's not got anything riding on it, has it? That's the problem with it. I think what they should do is they should change it so it's the winner of the Championship versus the winner of the Premiership. That should be the charity or Community Shield. And then there's something to play for. The winner of the Championship has got something to prove against the best in the land. And we kind of emulated that with the Liverpool game with us.
Yeah, but I feel bad for the winner of the Championship. They've just played fucking 73 games.
Yeah, cool. Have you not watched
5
Hunger
games
Games?
a week.
It's a shield as well. What's the shield? Don't forget it's not a cup. It's
You can protect yourself from the community. That's what it's for.
Yeah, I could have been doing one of those shields at the time.
That's it. If you're on your coach coming out of Elland Rd, get your Community Shield side.
Quickly raising it up whenever someone sneezes.
I'm the winner of the COVID Community Shield 2021.
The COVID Community Shield.
God.
Fantastic.
I mean, you say that. I mean, we were a bit concerned in the week because Ronaldo tested positive, and then I saw on Instagram he was with half of our first team, and I'm like, oh shit, okay. So I think they were having tests yesterday or today. So yeah, hopefully they're all right. Because if not, we won't have anyone to put out. So.
Yeah, we were joking on the main cast that you'll be lining up the tea lady, the kit man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anybody who's got a negative COVID test. Yeah, it's scary. That we talked about it as well about internationals and how it's endangering club football altogether, because you've got all these players flying around the world and endangering themselves and then endangering all the clubs that they go back to. So it's almost like a super spreader event.
Unless you've got a huge viral load, I would have thought that it would be fairly difficult to test immediately afterwards.
Yeah, it would be.
And then you don't have symptoms for a while. So,
well, if track and trace worked for football like it does for us, the whole of Wolves would be self-isolating for 14 days. And they won't be able to play football. So just give us the 3 points on this side.
Yeah. Thus making this match preview obsolete, and we can all just fuck off.
Cool. See ya. Cheers, guys. Bye. No, it's a real danger. I mean, we want to keep football as much as possible. It's terrible that we're not there watching it, but at least we've got something to watch. We don't want it to be taken apart by infections around camps of footballers like that.
No. And Ronaldo can fuck off as well.
Yeah, he can, just generally.
But we're talking about that. We don't know who he changed shirts with at the end of the game, actually. I think somebody said the player he changed shirts with was like, I'm not going to watch that. I was like, all right, okay.
Yeah, probably should.
Yeah. Match worn COVID.
Our mate Ross, our third wheel on our podcast, mentioned that in our main cast this week.
Third wheel.
Yeah, he needs to wash that shirt at least 60 degrees.
Yeah. I'll throw it
Maybe in a bath of fucking disinfectant as well. And he might as well pop in that bath as well.
But saying that, we've had a positive test as well, haven't we, in the youth team? Because somebody tested positive.
Tossed it.
They toasted positive.
I'm positive he tossed it.
Yeah, and it scuppered one of his transfers that we were going to do. We were in talks with a youth player, and they couldn't come to Elland Road or couldn't go to Thorpe Park because they've been a positive. I'm so not well prepared for this. I have read it. I haven't dreamt it, I promise.
All right. Couldn't they have done the medical somewhere else?
Probably could have done, but I think we were selling ourselves. I think there were 3 clubs interested. And I think we were selling ourselves to it. So it's like, come and look at the thing.
Yeah.
We'll give you a free shirt, and why don't you join us? And we couldn't do the whole sales pitch because of COVID.
Okay. Leave with a little goodie bag full of virus.
That's it. Oh,
That's your viral goodie
a
bag.
cock cat doll, a badge.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
A little keyring.
A complex virus for your lungs. Ventilated ticket.
Okay, so Ryan, you've been to Europe. How was that? I mean, from Rotherham to Europe in a couple of years.
That's it. I mean,
Fucking
my
hell.
European connection with Wolves probably prior to last season was the Anglo-Italian Cup, which I don't know if people are familiar with listening, which was a strange little competition between Serie B and the Championship sides. But yeah, in terms of competitive, yeah, it's strange to have your passport to watch a Wolves game, really, because for my generation, the last time we were in Europe competitively was 1980, 81. So obviously a lot of people missed out on that. So yeah, it's kind of stuff which is mad, and you have moments certainly when you're in Europe and you're beating Besiktas away from home, and you're thinking, yeah, shit, like it wasn't long ago we were in League One, so you do get that, but then also you think, well, actually, we deserve it because the players are good enough. So you do get those moments where you think it's mad, and is this really happening? Because I've seen this side, for example, in every division. Literally, the club was falling apart as I started seeing them sort of in the early 90s, well, late 80s to early 90s, and we've gone up and down, and so forth. So it was mad, but it was brilliant. And then, unfortunately, we couldn't complete the journey. I had tickets to go to Athens, and then I don't know if you remember the owner, I think, caught COVID, and then it was behind closed doors, so we didn't end up going in the end. So that was such a shame. So gutted that we lost, but it was one of those weird moments, if you can imagine, when you think, what if we would have got to the final and not gone as well? That would have been really shit as well. So, yeah. Sorry for not answering that succinctly, but it's mad. But hopefully we'll go again. But it's mad. But actually, when you look at the side that we've got, then we're more than capable of competing because the players that we've got are used to playing in Europe. So, from a fan who's seen it all pretty much through Wolves, it's been mad. But yeah, a great experience, and one which there's been times I never thought I would see, but hopefully we'll get to see again.
So, what did you make of this project Big Picture then? Because that's the kind of the news story that's dominated the last week. Well, how was it from your perspective?
I don't know. I mean, it's a difficult one. For me personally, I've got friends who are involved way down the pyramid, and I watch non-league football as well. And it's just a case, isn't it, of the top teams and the top six. But for me, it's like, okay, well, who are your top six? So it's your latest standing. But I don't know. It's a difficult one. I think the idea that they want to perhaps break away, or more power to them. They'll sell it on the basis that it'll fund clubs further down the line, but do we know what we would be buying into further down the line if those are the ones calling the shot? It seems a bit of an imbalanced position, but that's as much as I feel on it. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, it's one of them where I think they are taking advantage of a situation where clubs are struggling to give with one hand and take away with the other. But the thing is, the takeaway is a lot bigger than what they're giving. It's a one-off payment that it would have meant that lower league clubs would have survived for a bit longer than they are now. But it would have also castrated them from climbing up the pyramid. And that's the whole thing of doing the competition, is that you get to the top of your game. And yeah, I'm glad it's been scrapped. But I would keep an eye out for something similar coming in.
So we lost Lorente and Cooper. Did we lose anybody else? Sam Greenwood in the under-23s.
Yeah, but he's not going to play, is he?
No.
Llorente's got out. Yeah, Llorente's out. Cooper is a late test for a groin injury.
Okay.
But yeah,
They're just making sure he's got something between the sticks.
That's it. Something small and insignificant between his legs.
Okay, so that's possibly one, possibly two. And for you, do you guys have Ryan? Do you guys have a few players out, a few important players out? Give us the juicy bits.
But yeah, we're not too bad actually. I think we're just keen to see. I think we're glad the game's on Monday because I think, as Alex referenced earlier, about the international break and how that will be. When we have Jimenez flying across the world and so forth. So yeah, as a squad, we're okay. Marcel may be coming back in. We've also recently signed Rayan Aït-Nouri. French left back.
Bless you.
Yeah, exactly. Who's probably going to come in because last game we had Roman Says playing on the left side, so he may come in. So yeah, we're not in a bad shape actually. So we haven't got anybody significant out at this moment in time. So it will probably be the same side, but I suspect the new left back may get in instead of Says. So you'll expect us to see maybe Pedence, Neto, and Jimenez up front. Adama may or may not start. You may have seen sort of from the outside, he can be more effective from the bench, so he may be on the bench and Marcel may come in. But generally, we're at pretty full strength.
Yeah, we're a really professional podcast. So the research that I've done for this is playing on FIFA against Wolves as Leeds. So, and it was.
How did that go?
I think I beat somebody 7-5 and he quit out on seasons. But I've
So
seen
that.
Go on.
I was a very small child when I played FIFA. So can you explain it? Can you explain what that means?
I'm a very large child, and it's you go on the internet and play against other people, and they get an option to
seasons.
quit. Yeah,
What's
so
this?
essentially you play against other online teams, and you get enough points to get promoted to the next division, and you play in that division. The aim is to get to Division 1. But with Leeds, you get to Division 2, and nobody's got the same star team, so you're just like, cool, there's nobody else to play against. But yeah, I think I got flashbacks of Adama from when he played for Borough, and he went through as like butter that time when Bamford got a hat trick. So I'm kind of glad that he's not starting if he isn't, and if he stays on the bench, I'll be happy.
So you were beating somebody 7-5,
Yeah,
and then they quit,
but
you still get the points.
Yeah, you get it awards you a 3-0 win if they quit out.
Okay.
There's this thing that me and my nephew do if we play on seasons like co-op. If we're winning, we'll try and chip the keeper, and it's called chip for quit. So if they chip the keeper and they quit, then we've won. So that's what we aim for. It's a sad little life that I lead.
Okay, that just confused me again, and now I'm hungry. I'm thinking about chips.
Meal deal.
Ryan, do you play video games?
No, my Football Manager probably, days are behind me. I was a big Championship Manager fan. That kept me up for hours upon hours just to complete the next season, just to see how I'll do. But no, not for some time. But yeah, we get a lot of stuff on the Fancast where people put a lot of Football Manager stats and ratings to us, and I just kind of nod because I'm not sort of well versed on current FIFA or any of the games. So yeah.
And like what about
fantasy Premier League? Do you play that?
No. The thing is, I have got a team and I'm on 0 points, but I just
0. You're on 0.
Do you want to join our league?
I've not even put the team in for the first week. It's kind of seemed an idea at the time, and it's like, oh, have I got to change my captain? Who's injured? It's too much maintenance for me. So
you're on 0 points.
I think 0. I'm defaulted. I don't think I hit the deadline.
Like not one of your players has got a single point.
I can tell you who's in my team. To be honest, I'm really not interested. interested in it.
I'm normally like that.
Okay.
To be fair, I've got your
Sorry.
keeper on my FPL, so it'll be mixed reviews. So I don't know what I want to happen now.
Well, I don't pay much attention to it these days either. But next week, Alex's team and I face off against each
Oh,
other.
we're against each other. All right, cool.
Yeah, next week. So Into Your Mum will play the Adelites.
You got to say into your mum because it's got to. Never mind. If you got to
Into
explain
your
it, it's
mum.
not funny.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the thing is, you need to explain everything to me.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's my humour. I've got to explain it to everybody.
The result is that we're not very funny.
No, standards.
Okay. Now it's that time of the podcast where I ask you for your predictions. So it's 3 points for an exact scoreline, and it's 1 point for correcting the.
Correct result. He's gone. He's lost himself. His brain has malfunctioned.
Predicting the correct result. And Ryan, I'll start off with you. How do you think the game will go?
I've predicted already, so I'm going to have to stay with that. So I went with a 2-1 Wolves win. So yeah, that's kind of where I see it. Maybe Costa will get a goal, and then Jimenez and Neto for us.
Well, we live a dreamer on this pod. And Alex?
I'm going to go the opposite way. 2-1 to Leeds, I think. I think it's going to be a good game to watch. It's going to be full-blooded. Everybody's going to go at it. It's not going to be like the Sheffield United game where it was quite needled and very championship. I think this is going to be a Premiership game to watch, or a Premier League game to watch. Sorry. And yeah, I think 2-1 to Leeds.
It's just showing our age, isn't it?
Yeah.
Every time you say that, people on Twitter.
It's not been Premiership for fucking years. What it's talking about? Not bad. Yeah, get a lot of that.
They are sensitive about that. I've seen a few of those. Yeah.
It's EPL. It's not Premiership. Yeah. Shut up. I'm 37. It used to be Division 1, and everything's changed, and I'm confused.
This is usually where we go off straight off into the weeds, isn't it? Do you have anything weedy you want to get off your chest?
Promoting the Man Trimmer 2.0. If you want to get anything weedy off your chest, not sponsored. Not sponsored.
I've got no weeds to get off my chest. No. There's nothing. There's nothing to dig in. For me, from a Wolves perspective, it's just we're kind of having a bit of a slow start to the season, waiting to see how things all unravel. With Leeds, I see your results, and I kind of just think it's a bit bonkers. So I don't know how it's going to go, but I would be confident. But we'll see.
Cool. Is this right? If we win tomorrow, that we go second? Was that the points before the fixtures started? I'm sure someone mentioned that.
I don't know.
Or have I dreamt that as well?
Yeah, and that's the thing is, I think you're in 8th at the moment, or has that changed with today? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, but it's like for what it's worth, I guess. But I mean, you mentioned earlier top half. Is that what people are generally thinking? I know as a fan base, and particularly Leeds, it's probably quite divided. But is the general consensus a good season top half, or is it kind of like, oh, actually we've drew with Man City, and first game then Europe, or?
Well, that's how it started.
Yeah, most people are thinking top 4.
Yeah.
It's crazy,
Top
honestly.
4 of the middle table.
That's it. We came up and like, all right, okay, 4th from bottom will be fantastic, and then we have that performance against Liverpool. It's like, we might do all right, top half, and then the result we see is like, right, so we'll book us hotels for the Champions League final. So yeah, I'm still at the thing of survival and consolidation would be fantastic. I don't think we need to pull up any trees, but it's a nice journey, isn't it? When you put in these performances in, it's good to watch. So long may it continue.
You'll have noticed that I don't make a prediction each week, let alone a prediction for the entire fucking season. Especially given that Liverpool just got absolutely bulldozed by Villa, who I'm sure that you're not happy about. You've got a lot of rivalries down there, don't you? I mean, you just must fucking hate everybody. Birmingham, Villa, Derby. Who else
I
is
wouldn't
there?
say
Leicester.
Derby, but yeah, maybe it's a black country thing. Maybe that's us as people. We just don't like people. I don't know. So no. For historically, there's only one derby for me, and it's West Brom because it's geographically the closest, and we're both sides in the black country. And the Birmingham derby is Villa and Blues. But yeah. We find reasons to dislike all of the above named. And then we're not far from the Staffordshire border, so Stoke. I mean, not many people like Stoke. There's enough reason not to like Stoke.
To be fair, their own supporters don't really
Yeah.
like Stoke.
Yeah.
Warsaw kind of have that thing where they consider us rivals, but we like to kind of patronise and pat them on the head a bit. But they think they're our rivals. I don't know. You probably have a few Yorkshire clubs that feel the same about you, but yeah. All of them. Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
For me,
All of them. Even the fake ones like Borough. All of them.
Yeah, I like pointing that out to Middlesbrough fans. Like, oh, you're just Yorkshire, so we're a better team, best team in Yorkshire.
But yeah, I suppose because of where we're at, really, we've got a lot of clubs in close proximity. But yeah, West Brom for me, Villa, yeah, whatever. There's no rivalry really there for me. There might be kind of Wolverhampton, Birmingham thing, but it's West Brom. But it's just crap that we'll be playing them this year, and we may not be able to see them live. But you know, hey ho.
Because they're going straight back down.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. They are going straight back down. You know, Robson Carno up front leading the attack. You know, it's not great. So
When you talk about patting Warsaw on the head, I immediately think of Huddersfield, of course. Giving them a good pat.
Yeah,
They're good
little
little
terriers. Little terriers. They've gone very quiet, and their fan base has gone very, very quiet over the past season or so.
Yeah.
Been good.
I mean, it's always a bit of a weird policy sticking with a manager who is terrible in the Premier League, even though he was good in the Championship, and that's bitten Norwich badly, and it's done the same for Huddersfield, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'd say it's sad to see, but it really isn't.
Do you think West Brom's who is it? Bilic? You think Bilic is going to get sacked? Who do you think is going to get sacked first?
Parker.
I don't know if Bilic will get sacked because I don't know who wants the job. I mean,
now you're talking about Ollie.
You were talking about Huddersfield then, and it just reminds me of, you know, when you have an irrational dislike of Huddersfield or of clubs, because there's no real reason to dislike Huddersfield. But when we went to their ground, they put us in this dingy nightclub, and this was sort of for like a day game. I think it was horrible, and to me, that's enough for me to dislike a club. So.
Wait a minute. They put you in a dingy nightclub. How did they do that? So they've got some heavies, right? They've rounded up the away fans. They've got guns pointed at your head. They're getting this fucking
story.
To be fair, we do the same as well. We go in Howard's bar, don't they? Away fans, so it's not as dingy, but yeah, it's
you do get. It's kind of like why I used to like the London games, because you could just go around London and nobody would know what team you're particularly following other than an accent, and you could kind of go anywhere. But when you go to your Huddersfield or set grounds, it's like, yeah, we're going to put you in this shite bar that nobody goes in, and we're going to charge you plastic cups in, you know, Carlin and whatever. But yeah.
But, I mean, what else are you going to do? Get beaten up in the Huddersfield local?
Might be a nicer beer, but
it might be cheaper at least. That's the thing with us when we got, because Huddersfield hate us, and we'll go to their games, and if you're not wearing colours, you sound the same. So you've got lots of angry people. You Leeds, you Terriers, yeah, it's quite fun. Just walking through them, because the last time I went to Huddersfield Town, I went on my own, and I was in the car, so I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be wearing colours. So just wore normal clothes and just walking past, and you could just hear people talking about the game. We beat them, I think 3-0. And it's like, how are they doing that? How have they got that? I was like, yes, it's nice to infiltrate your language. It's great. Yeah, it's nice to go incognito.
Yeah, but they're a weird bunch.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Fucking weird.
Imagine taking inspiration from the Netto bags for your badge. It's just crazy.
Almost as bad as taking inspiration from the Gaviscon badge.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I walked into that one, didn't I? That was the worst thing ever. I think I was the first person to reply to, this is my claim to fame, first person to reply to that tweet that Leeds put out went, just delete this.
Fuck. Just fucking delete it. Oh, God. Have you ever had anything like that, Ryan?
Gaviscon.
Has your club ever come out with a Gaviscon badge?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Your club ever put the gun to its own fans and said, look, we're just self-destructing. We want to take part?
Or put a condition that you can only, if you sit in one stand, you've got to buy a pie and a pint?
Well, you say the pie and the pint we've had before. So the club at the time, we were under Jez Moxey, who was the chairman at the time. Sorry, CEO at the time, and he made a great decision at the time. And I'm being sarcastic with the great. Then when we played West Brom in the FA Cup, he gave West Brom fans the South Bank, which is basically our end, so the Kop for us. So that obviously pissed a lot of people off. Season ticket holders had to be moved out of where they would normally sit. And then they went and they beat us. And what they did, it talks about Netto here, they left, because we call them Tesco carry bags, because obviously that's hilarious, because the kit kind of, So they left loads of Tesco carry bags in and really took the piss all day, and which was horrible. And the CEO said, look, we maybe got that one wrong. We misjudged the mood. So for the next game, we had a pie and a pint to say, his thing was, we need to make amends here. And how do you do that? We buy you a pie and a pint. So,
well, at least better know. This was a tax that if you wanted to sit in that stand, you had to buy a pie.
Really? Okay.
And it was Chilino, infamous owner at the time, didn't like the opinions that he saw on Twitter, didn't like people complaining about his stewardship, so put a tax on and said you can only get a ticket in this stand if you buy a pie. It's to go from stuff like that to where we are now is refreshing. So yeah, it's shit because and we've, from my involvement in the Leeds United Supporters Trust as well, we're kind of campaigning for a fairer price for away fans. But what it boils down to is that the away fans have been moved to, they used to be in the southeast corner, so the cheese wedge, but then it got moved to the west stand. The west stand is the most expensive stand in Elland Rd, because that's where all the players are and all the execs are, and you can't charge a different price to a different set of fans. So essentially, you're hamstrung by the fact that of the policy that it's the most expensive stand. But that should change. I mean, now even I think in the Prem we've got to give a price, haven't we? Is it part of the 20s plenty thing?
Yeah, I think we can't.
We've got to get back in the ground first.
Well, it's kind of relevant, I suppose. But yeah, I was just interested because I think you kind of had that tag for a couple of years with the Championship games. But yeah, I think you can't charge more than 30. But somebody might quote us differently on that. But yeah.
I mean, to be fair, on those prices, for most of that time, you were paying to watch your team absolutely massacre us.
I suppose it's all relative, isn't it? Really, it's like nobody's moaning after the game. Yeah, I get that, but
yeah, Paul Bailey, Peacock Farrell, that was his debut when he beat us 3-0. I think that poor kid is still having flashbacks of that at Burnley now.
Yeah, 3-0. Saiz, Willie Bully, and Benika Phoebe. There you go.
Absolutely took us to bits. I don't want another one of them on Monday, please.
We had Vern and Anita.
Jeez.
Michelle Lasoga, Hardy Sarko, and the Spitting Saiz. But other than that, pretty strong team.
Vernon Anita, oh my word, just watching him run were just depressing. It's like he's gone. He's not a player. Just get him out, please.
Ponderous.
Yeah, that's probably the best way. Ponderous pace.
He was like he got dropped off in a forest somewhere and he didn't quite know where he was going, which way to go.
Yeah. Then Hadi Sacco didn't know how to square a ball to anybody. Lovely kid, but my word, getting the final third and his head goes.
I always felt like he should have been an athlete.
Yeah.
Like he could have had a good sprinting career ahead of him.
Yeah, well, you can't cross sports. Kind of Usain Bolt tried to do that and tried to do football, and he wasn't very good. So
Yeah, that's true. Hadi Sacco did score a good goal against Leicester, I think. Yeah, I seem to recall in the cup.
yeah, but
no more of that
that's
soon.
it. Yeah,
No more fucking League Cup. There you go.
no, none of that.
Saves us a game anyway. Saves us a game a season. Oh God. Okay. That's just about it, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I've not got anything.
We should have some more structure to this shit.
No.
No.
We say
You
that
don't think
every
so?
week.
I know. Ryan, do you have any tips? Yeah, you've been doing podcasting for a while.
I have. We've been doing it some time.
How do you make it good?
I don't know. Let us know.
How do you make it?
Let us
What's the word?
You see, it's quite funny, really, because when we started, we were the only podcast, and strangely enough, considering we're in Europe last year.
Wait, the only
Okay,
podcast.
sorry, I'll caveat that with the only Wolves podcast.
That's
podcast.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I know you guys. Leeds would have taken more and all that.
A lot.
To say the market is oversaturated is an
so we've I can't even, I don't know how many we've got now, but it's a crazy amount, and obviously part of it is the resurgence of podcasts, but it's so much to do with the fact that we're doing well. So there wasn't as much interest in listening to us talk about a 1-1 against Leyton Orient as there is in Europe. So we've got a lot of podcasts out there, but the Wolves Fancast, for anyone listening, if they want an alternative view, we did our Leeds preview as well. So if you wanted to kind of hear what we said about you on that podcast, you're welcome to listen to that.
What's the brief? Give us a brief rundown. What were you saying? Were you saying brilliant Marcelo Bielsa, probably best coach in the world that's probably ever lived, probably in world football history? Is that what you're saying?
Well, we talked about the fact that Bielsa and Nuno, the tactics at play. So yeah, absolutely, we were complimentary. You can listen to it. I'm not bullshitting. We were complimentary because
no, but you're shitting yourselves, aren't you? Come on, Ryan, admit it. Leeds United at Elland Rd. Bottles flying all around your head.
All them coaches that are safe and them seats that are empty. It's going to be great.
So no, I think we're looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a good game, but it's just who can call it? But yeah, I think it'll be decent. But no, I think too much structure will ruin the podcast. Do what you're doing, just do it ad lib. If you kind of make a mistake, then you'll just get people on Twitter telling you about it for a while, about how you pronounce the name, or it wasn't in that year and such. And that's great.
It's not Premiership.
Yeah, so it's fine. But I think it's good to get to speak to other fans and get sort of the opposition view. It's something we hadn't done before. We've started to do more. We'll probably do more in the future because I think it's good to get a different view because we can talk about Leeds, but at the end of the day, people know their club if they're invested in it, and I think people like to hear the other side of it, and I hope people will appreciate my views for the game on Monday, and we'll see how we get on.
Cool.
Okay, so that was the Roaring Peacock match preview with the Portuguese national side from the Black Country. Those predictions again were 2-1, either to Leeds or Wolves. So we can berate Alex on social media at Riot Badger. Just tell him he's a useless cunt for not guessing correctly.
Just the people do that anyway. I think I'll get lost in the noise of of what if it's about the result or anything else. So cool. Have at
If
it,
you want
lads.
to, if you want to help us out, you can drop us a iTunes review. But other than that, it's a very goodbye from me. You can catch me on Twitter at the Adelites. It's a very goodbye from Alex.
It's a very good bye from me, but just to add as well, if you want to win one of these canvases, you can do. You just need to retweet one of my tweets. If you just find it, it's on the Roaring Peacocks Twitter as well, and we'll draw it on the 27th. So goodbye from me.
Right, yes. If you are listening and not viewing on YouTube, Alex has a fucking enormous canvas of Elland Road, of a picture he took of Elland Road from up on the hill.
Hi.
And it looks gorgeous. It's 120 by 80 centimeters.
Yeah,
Is that
it's
correct?
massive. So if we do get flooded due to climate change, you can surf it out of your house.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
And it's a very goodbye from Ryan from the Wolves Fancast.
Goodbye, cheers, gents.
Cheers.
Thank you, goodbye. Most of our stats come from LUFC Stats or LUFC Data on Twitter. You should probably give them a follow as they're more interesting than us. A very special thanks to Adam Elliott, Adam Warner, Barney Stewart, Cookie, Ed McIntyre, Ewan and Howard Metcalf, Josh Pearson, Laura, Leon, Nige and Rob, The Light Show, to all our family and friends.
So many games to play, don't care what's on your mind.